Hello all. Today I will be reading two stories. The first one is called Creepy Guy in My Window. First of all, this happened when I was 12 years old and I am a female. I was alone in my room chatting with friends at 2 o'clock. It was a few days before the New Year, so a lot of people were usually roaming the streets at night, going home from parties and such. My room had these curtains, which, if my blinds were closed, you could see into my room. On this unfortunate night, I forgot to close my blinds, and I was sitting in my bed, so any creep could come peek at me through my fucking window and see me. Just a little note here. At the time I lived on the first floor of an apartment complex with my family in a quiet town in Finland. I was in the middle of a conversation with my best friend when I heard a slight knocking on my window. I ignored it, thinking it was just a cold winter air messing with the window. A few seconds later, I heard the same knock again, but louder. This was where I made a big mistake. Me, being the paranoid-ass person I am, did not check what was happening at my window. Just 10 seconds later, someone started violently banging at my window. I was scared shitless. I immediately moved to the corner of my room because at that moment I realized I had not closed my blinds. The banging got louder and louder. I thought my window was going to break. At that moment, I should have rushed to my parents' room, but I was frozen in place. Soon enough, the man started yelling at my window. It was pretty much inaudible. He was clearly drunk. I could tell by his voice. Then he shouted so loud that I could hear him say, "Ava nit se paska ikuna," which roughly translates to, "Open the fucking window." At that moment, I almost started crying until I heard my neighbor's dog barking. My neighbor always went on long walks at night with his dog, and thank God he came at the right moment. My neighbor started yelling furiously while his dog was barking out of his mind. I heard them argue for a while until it eventually quieted down. I had to wait about 15 minutes until I could check the window. I have absolutely no idea what happened to the guy banging at my window. He just completely disappeared, and my neighbor never brought it up. At this moment, you might be thinking it was a dream, but I swear this was not a dream. I never told my parents. They still have no idea what happened that night, and they probably never will. This next story is called Grandma's Laugh. There she was, just standing there, laughing to her heart's content. It was joyous. That same from the belly laugh she had when she was alive, the same one I remember as a little kid. Her willowy white mane stood out against the glow of my nightlight. Her pearly white dentures sparkled. She didn't speak. In fact, she didn't say a word. But I couldn't help trying to communicate with her. "Grandma!" I yelled with excitement. "Is that you?" I knew in my gut it was her, but I had to hear her say it. But she never did. She never said anything. She just disappeared. I awoke the next morning wondering if it was all a dream, but the sweet smell of her lavender perfume lingered in the air like a sweet reminder of the encounter. I normally despise the atrocious pungent smell of lavender, but not my grandma's lavender. It was always warm and inviting. It reminded me of her loving spirit, grace, and unwavering kindness. It was her signature. It was her scent. It was her for sure. She's still with me, I thought. The next night, after a long, tedious day, I get another visit from her. This time she's younger. I'd say late 40s. I knew it was her because she and my mom look almost identical. This time her hair was black, thick and wavy, her skin like smooth caramel. Her eyes like burning coal. She was beautiful. Her smile was radiant, yet she didn't laugh this time. She just smiled and then disappeared. I came home from work the next night equally just excited to get another visit from my grandma. But tonight it felt different. Tonight it felt strange. I got into my PJs and headed for bed, and just like clockwork, Grandma appeared again, or at least what I initially thought was my grandma. She was even younger this time around, a little girl about 10 years old with two curly black pigtails with ribbons and bows on them, wearing a pretty little red and white lace dress. I blurted out, "Hey, Grandma!" She responded in a menacing voice, "I'm not your grandma." Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and there will be more to come. If you liked it, please comment and subscribe and hit that like button. Remember, things are scarier when they happen to you.